Time now for US media superstar Megyn Kelly, and breaking tonight, one of the most disastrous weeks of the Sussexes' 5-year marriage has just got a hell of a lot worse as sullen Prince Harry loses a high-profile court case against the UK government. And yet another of his pathetic public legal wrangles, the Duke of Delusion failed in his high-profile bid to bring a challenge against the Home Office over its refusal to allow him to pay for police protection while in the UK. Now, the blow comes less than a week after the Sussexes' overhyped New York car chase was globally exposed as a farce, which experts now believe has fueled increasing American sentiment for the Ginger Wincher to permanently return to Britain. So this is the moment. Kevin Roberts, he's the president of the highly respected Washington think tank, the Heritage Foundation, told the Daily Telegraph that just 2 to 3% of Yanks actually like the Montecito Moaners.
2 or 3% of the population that loves the nonsense that Harry and Meghan spew. You don't have to worry about Americans being on their side. They're on Britain's side.
Should he be deported?
We don't like him being in America, and we would love for him to come back to you or somewhere. I guess we, as Americans, we see Prince Harry the same way you see President Biden. You can have him back.
Megyn Kelly. So look, has this fairy tale car chase finally destroyed their reputation stateside, even amongst their previous craven supporters like CNN and the New York Times?
It absolutely has helped. It's helped. Even The View and Whoopi Goldberg, these are far left people, are saying this is absurd. What a ridiculous story. You know, I've been thinking about it, Dan. One thing you don't do is you don't mess with New Yorkers and the city of New York, right? You don't come into New York, make up lies about the photographers who work here and make their livings here, and try to paint yourself as a victim when you weren't. This is a city that got knocked down on 9/11, 2001 and lost 3,000 people and went back to work and told everybody, get out the next day, buy a stock, do something to help the city get back on its feet, that had the New York City Marathon with people holding the flag. This is a city that rises up after they've actually been hit and hurt and are wounded. They don't appreciate whiners who, when they're not even hurt, try to play the victim. And that's what these two did. In all the cities in the world, this is the last one they should have done that in, because there's zero tolerance for weaklings in the city of New York, never mind liars. And that's what they are. What were they doing here? Why was she out that night, Miss Princess of Privacy? Because she wanted to accept yet another award from some far-left liberal, Gloria Steinem, supposedly the mother to us all. Oh, unless you actually don't believe in abortion on demand until the 9th month of pregnancy.
Wow, Megyn comes in hot right out of the gate. And she's not wrong. Harry losing that case against the UK government is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's pause here and dig deeper. For those who don't know, Harry wanted to pay for police protection in the UK. But the government said no because police services aren't a private commodity. It's like trying to rent firefighters to guard your house. It's not how it works. What's more, this loss reflects a broader trend. Harry and Meghan have been burning bridges left and right, both in the UK and the US. Their credibility is tanking. So the real question is, who are they going to blame next? Let's talk about that infamous New York car chase for a second. Now, as a proud New Yorker, let me tell you, we don't fall for theatrics. You claim a near-catastrophic chase in the city that never sleeps? Where traffic jams are legendary. That story unraveled faster than Harry's legal team. Even left-leaning outlets like the New York Times and The View called them out, and that says something. New Yorkers don't take kindly to people exploiting the city's tragedies for personal gain. Remember, this is the city that rebuilt itself after September 11th.
So she wanted to give Meghan Markle an award, a Vision Award. You know what the award praised? I'll read it to you. They were thrilled to recognize Meghan's strength and resilience, critical to building a better world for our children. Her strength and resilience? What are you talking about? She had her PR people turn a little paparazzi attempt at getting her picture into a near catastrophe, asking everyone to feel sorry for her. She doesn't know the meaning of those words, strength and resilience. I certainly don't want my children looking to her for an example of any of that. So yes, I think she's lost what remaining little left-wing hangers-on she had.
I know, because Megyn, I've been thinking about this a lot over the past week after I heard that ridiculous speech, and I was thinking, what is Meghan Markle's cause? You know, for Princess Diana, it was the plight of eating disorders, specifically bulimia. It was the plight of AIDS victims who in the 80s were misunderstood. And later in her life, it was the plight of the landmine. You know, 3 areas where Princess Diana changed the world. What's Meghan Markle's cause? And I thought about it a lot. And actually, it's herself. There is no
100%.
cause apart from Meghan Markle.
That's exactly right. And what they say in the speech was her status as a cultural catalyst based on her core belief that representation matters. That's what? Huh?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
I have no idea. Her belief that she ought to be in more movies and more places, getting hundreds of millions of dollars while they complain about their castle being too small and about Harry's security not being exactly what he wants it to be. All of it is about entitlement. There, I rewrote it for you, Gloria Steinem. That's what she's actually about, entitlement. And him too. His lawsuit that he just lost in the UK is basically him saying, but I'm special and I want the rules to be broken for me. You know, it reminded me of a story I heard about them when they were really little. And they came over here, Dan, with their mother, Princess Diana, Harry and William did. And she brought them, you know, she was always trying to show them what normal people live like. And she brought them into a restaurant and they were looking at the menus and there were specials on the menu. And one of the kids, I think it was Harry, looked at her and said, "Are these because we're here?" And it was a cute story. She said, no, specials, everybody gets specials. It's not about you. Honestly, she needed to keep saying that to him. He still needs somebody to say that to him. It's not about you. It's not about how special you are. You actually just have to work. You're going to have to pay the money for the same security that Beyonce gets when she comes over here. She's a far bigger star than you are. And it plays into their, we want the photos that the paparazzi took of us. No, you're not entitled. That's not the way it works here. And while he may be English, she's American and she knows very well the property over here belongs to the person who takes the photograph, not to the whiner who just wants to make sure her makeup looked perfect in it.
So when Meghan and Harry painted themselves as victims of a catastrophic chase, they lost whatever sympathy they might have had. Exactly, Meghan. New Yorkers are resilient and we respect people who roll up their sleeves and get to work, not those who play the victim card. And here's the kicker. Meghan was in New York to accept yet another award. A Vision Award? For its strength and resilience? Come on. This is the same woman who gave up royal duties, claimed she wanted privacy and then jumped into Hollywood and activism. I don't know about you, but I call that irony on steroids. Here's the reality check from Kevin Roberts. Only 2 to 3% of Americans reportedly back Harry and Meghan. That's microscopic, folks. And why? Because Americans value authenticity. We may not have kings and queens here, but we can spot a drama king and queen from a mile away. And let's not forget their Netflix documentary. They spent 6 hours airing grievances about their royal life, yet offered little substance. Americans are catching on to their act. It's all about them, not the causes they claim to champion. Meghan nails it again here. Meghan's entire brand seems to be built on playing the victim while claiming to be a symbol of empowerment. Let me tell you something about real strength and resilience. It's not about crafting a perfect PR image or chasing awards. It's about doing the hard work, taking accountability, and actually helping people. If Meghan truly cared about these causes, we'd see her focus on the work, not on building her own brand.
Absolutely. And we always warned them this was the consequence of leaving. Megyn, it's 5 years since this couple got married. The Daily Telegraph revealed at the weekend that Harry is now regularly staying away from the Montecito mansion, which has 16 bathrooms, in some little hotel down the road. Do you think this marriage could be in trouble? Because why would he need to leave a mansion with 16 bathrooms? It doesn't really make sense, does it?
First of all, can you blame him?
Just some time away from that, yeah. No, I get you.
He has I mean, on that one, hashtag Team Harry. Go, get out. It's just a matter of time. We all know that. I predict. I mean, I think we're probably under 7 years for the length of this marriage. That's just my, back of the envelope calculation. Because look, she's miserable. She's been miserable her whole life. I know somebody who knows her very well. And this person says she was miserable before she married him. She's miserable during the marriage, and she's going to be miserable after the marriage. She's ruined everything. She ruined the royal family. She ruined his life over there. He allowed it to happen because he had all this damage from his mother's death. I get it. But his only chance for happiness, in my view, is getting rid of her, getting away from her. And she'll probably land the plane with some American billionaire who will keep her in the manner to which she thought she was becoming accustomed when she married a prince, and then had to settle for just, global fame and the crown jewels, which wasn't good enough for her because nothing ever is.
And Megyn, just a final quick word. Gayle King, she seems to want this interview, Oprah's best mate. She wants this interview with Harry and Meghan more than anything. Is she starting to damage her own credibility by constantly sucking up to this pair?
Yes, beyond repair. She actually said she was upset. It's unsettling that some are trying to minimize, this is how she put it, how Harry and Meghan felt in that moment in the fake car chase. No, we're not trying to minimize anything. We don't believe them. They lied. We believe they've suffered actually no upset whatsoever. They just wanted to paint themselves as victims, like she's another Diana, which she's not and never will be. And to the extent they felt any sort of a panic, I blame them. They overreact to everything. They freaked out over a man on a Vespa in their fake little movie they did for Netflix. So if they felt unsettled, that's on them. They need to learn how to be a little bit stronger, like the New Yorkers in whose city they were when they disparaged the paparazzi here.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Everything about their public life feels curated for optics, not authenticity. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Harry and Meghan have alienated the British royal family, the British public, and now even a good chunk of the American public. Why? Because they've consistently failed to adapt. Take the royal family, for instance. Sure, it's an institution steeped in tradition, but there's a reason it has survived for centuries. It evolves. Meghan and Harry didn't want to be part of that evolution. Instead, they wanted to rewrite the rules entirely, and when that didn't work, they quit. That's not resilience. That's entitlement. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck, and honestly, it's hard to feel sorry for them at this point. Their constant need for attention, their inability to accept responsibility, and their victim narrative, it's exhausting. And here's what really gets me, they had an incredible platform to do real good. They could have been modernizers within the royal family, advocates for mental health, and champions for real change. Instead, they've become cautionary tales about what happens when you put ego before duty. Are Harry and Meghan victims of circumstance, or architects of their own downfall? Let me know in the comments below.